Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good night. I'm going to make a tutorial about how to use Xenobot and how to use it on the Aurora global server. So, first thing you do is you open a Aurora global client. You can be already logged in, or it can be like this. Then what you want to have is you want to have your Xenosuit map open and maybe also your Xenobot map. These two things should be installed, like Xenosuit and Xenobot. It can go hand in hand. It's been a while since I installed mine, so yeah, for now the only thing important to know is Xenosuit is like the loader. You need an account on Pandorum X to log in on the Xenosuit in order to inject it into the client, but we'll get to that. So first things first, so you open the client, you make sure it's the last one selected. Then you want to go to Xenosuit. You want to inject it. Sometimes, for some people, it is recommended to use as administrator. For other people, it works fine when you just do it like I did. So then you want to go to your Xenosuit in the bottom corner of your Windows. And then you just put your username in and your password. I'm gonna do it off the screen. And then you press the login. There you go. As you can see, I have like some more options over here. That means the Xenobot is loading or is loaded correctly. Now, what I usually do before I log in is I load a setting. Because in case you logged out in a cave or you logged out in a place which is not safe for you, if you already load the setting, then the setting will keep you alive and you have no stress. You can just start already. So let's maybe do something like a druid setup or something. Let's see. So I'm gonna load this one, load, and then I'm gonna log in. I'm gonna do the same thing. Gonna move it a bit. I'm gonna log in. There we go. So as you can see, my bot is already doing the setting that I gave him to. So that's kind of the easy part, the loading in and the getting online part. So for the new people and who don't have scripts but want to know how to make it, I'll do a really quick guide on how to set everything up, like from the basics to like more advanced things. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to settings again, and I'm gonna make a total new file. So let's create a new profile, yes, and we're gonna say it, or we're gonna name it YouTube tutorial. Save. And I'm gonna load everything, so I have a blank page. Should be. No, it's still empty. I mean, it still uses the same settings as I'm loading now. So let me think how I can like clear it for you guys. Whatever, I'm just gonna do it old school, the old-fashioned way. So let's delete everything and make it new. There we go. So there's a few options which are very important for Xenobot. As you can see, if I go in the left or the right side of the screen and I do right click, there's a few options you can choose. So the one is very important, of course it's on the top, is support. Support, it says itself, it's supporting you to stay alive. So the first thing here is self-healing. On the left side, on the bottom of the screen, if you press on it, left click, there comes a window. So you see here in green, spell healing, and in red, item healing. So as you see, the tip here, More important methods come first. What does that mean? So a heal that is more important will always be on the top. So for a paladin, for example, Exura Gran San is always on the top, and then Exura San, blah 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 blah. We play on a druid now, so the only thing we want to have is Exura Vita. So this is what we're gonna set up, is new, and we're gonna always do like health percent. Current health is not accurate. Then you have to calculate yourself what health you have to be and put the right amount in there. That's why we go with percent health, because the bot helps you, because he gives an accurate percentage. So what we want to write then is Exura Vita. You might want to start with capital, but it's not that important. What is important is that you always type in the right mana usage. So Exura Vita in this case is 160 mana. So what we want to do is we want to tell the bot when health percent is below 90%, then say Exura Vita for the cost of 160 mana. And of course you want to Vink it so it's activated. There we go. Very easy, very like simple. What he will do is he will only load this. The more complex you make this list, the more chances it gets to glitch or to malfunction or whatever. So the least things you put in here, so 1 or 2 healings is more than enough. You don't need 5, 6 healings from Exura to Exura Gran to Exura Vita to Exura Sio, all different percentages. I don't recommend this because it will, in critical situations, I've found out over the years that if you put an Exura Gran in here, then sometimes the Exura Gran will trigger on situations when it will kill you. Yeah, so if you don't put it in, then it can't kill you. That's the rule. So next thing, for this, you always want to have your backpack open with the potion that you want to select. So go in your backpack, go in potions. What was it again? Was it this one? No, it wasn't this one. Was it this one? Yes. So again, same thing. You go self-healer, item, new, and then you see current health, but we don't want to do health because we're a mage. So we want to do mana percent. Same thing, always take percent. And then you want to use, like you left click on this, and you do it again in here. If you're like a smart guy, I'm not a smart guy, you can just put the code in here if you know it out of your head. What I usually do is I put it on 50%. There you go. So that's just the self-healing. Then you can also do condition manager. What does that mean? Like it kind of helps you to like cure diseases or cure a paralyze. So again, I wrote Exura Vita. I need to change the mana cost. That's stupid of me. Why I'm not doing Exura Gran? Because again, the Exura Gran can kill me in critical situations. So that's why I don't care on the mana usage. I just do Exura Vita. And then hold conditions, if you write this in, Tani Granhur, this is to keep your haste active at all time. He will only cast it when you're out of protection zone. So don't worry, like, oh no, I'm gonna put this in and he's gonna cast Tani Granhur in the depot and I'm gonna waste. He will never do that. So again, the correct mana usage. These things is like kind of explanatory. Uvit is like, yeah, invisibility, and Uvita is Utamo Vita. So again, if you wanna like keep your Utamo Vita on while you're hunting and you don't want to think about it, then voila, the bot will do it for you. Same for knights, if you put Utura in here or Utura Gran, then the bot will automatically cast it so the cooldown is always ticking. So yeah, that's a bit the condition manager. You can also do equipment manager. This is more for paladins. So you put your ammo in here and he will automatically use it. But this is not really important for this server because ammunition is infinite anyway. So yeah, next thing, the targeting. So you can make this very complex. You can make this however you like it. I usually just type in all creatures, because if you do it like that, then he will just target all the creatures the same way. If you are on a hunting place where some creatures are more difficult than others, then you write in the name of the creature which needs an appropriate approach. So, for example, a place where I hunt which has difficult creatures is for me Hellflayers. So I want him to do Hellflayers on a different tactic. So I write in Hellflayer, and then instead of following the target, I will tell him to keep distance, to keep 3 SQM diagonal distance from the Hellflayer, and make this the highest priority. So when the bot sees a Hellflayer, he will target him first and go 3 diagonal from him. And all the other creatures, he will do nothing. So if you see a creature, he will stand still and he will shoot. If he sees a Hellflayer, he will start running. So, one more thing which is a bit more advanced. I'm just gonna show it. This is dynamic lure. If you put something in here, and like activate it, then you will say when there's 3 creatures, you will stop and do nothing. But until there's no 3 creatures, you will stay running or keep running the path that you've built with your walker. We'll get to that later. This is a cool feature that I really use a lot. If you use this feature and know how to use it, your XP per hour will go up dramatically or drastically. Very cool this. I will explain it later on. Then, what is very important is magic shooter. So this is all your spells that you want to trigger. As it says, spell shooter. What you always want to have is PvP safe enabled. What does that mean? Is he will never shoot a spell when there's a player which is not in your party, like 2 SQM from you. When he's 3 SQM from you, then you will cast something. This is also malfunction in my opinion, because experienced players will sidestep and they still will make you skull. But for like amateur guy, he will it's hard to make skull. Why do I do that? Is because there's people who will try to make you red skull when you bot AFK. So if you put this feature off and someone sees that you will just auto spam your spells, then they will come with a bot army and they will make you red skull within like 15 minutes and you will lose all your items. So I really don't recommend to put this off. But yeah, more for that later. As you can see, I wrote in all the spells. I'm not gonna write it again. It's pretty explanatory. I'm just gonna do one spell. So for example, you see here, Exevo Gran Mas Frigo. I want to have the other UV, but then Terra. So I do new. And then you see you have different options here with like arrows to the left and the right. So what I usually do is I toggle until I have the right thing here. This is a target spell. We don't need a target spell. We need the area rune. We don't need that either. Target rune. We don't need that. Empowerment. Yeah, I don't think we need this. Absolute spell. This is what we need. So if you have the right tab, then usually I put my eye on the thing below it. So it says monster name. It's not what we want to have. Unless you do the same tactic like I did. When he sees Hellflayer, so here you type Hellflayer, then cast this spell. I don't really use it that way, but that's also an option you can take. I usually do like this, monster count. So what does that mean? Is if you write here the spell name. Why is he not typing? Alright, Xenobot. Like this I think it is. Yeah. So he will then cast this spell when there's X amount of... Oh, there's only one R. See, I haven't played in such a while. So then you type in creatures. So if he sees 4 creatures, then he will cast UE. If the mana percentage is at 10, what does that mean? If he's below 10% mana, then he will not cast it. So always make sure that you put your support in the correct way so you always have mana. So yeah, that's a little bit the basics. You can make this how complex as you want it. You see? You can do like 4 creatures UE. This, for example, 3 creatures UE. And like a rune, you can put this here. Stuff like that. You can make it how you want it. The only thing you gotta kind of do is what I usually do is make the runes open in like your backpacks. So like this, you just open the backpack. You can even minimalize it, but just so the bot kind of can use it. Because sometimes if you don't open it, he will like, yeah, not cast it or whatever. So same thing with the backpack. That's what I usually do, because on a mage I hardly ever loot, so you don't need to worry about the backpacks or whatever. So that's kind of the basics of the attacking and the healing. So now we're going a little bit into the more advanced thing, is the walker and the looter. But before we jump into that, maybe a few small tools and visuals which can help you as well. So the tools is very simple. It's anti-idle. What does that mean? Is you don't log out. So in Tibia the rule is if you're 15 minutes AFK, then you will get logged out to make room on the server. So if we wing this, we make sure that the bot is keeping us online. And auto food, if you have a backpack open with food, then he will automatically eat it. It's not instantly like you see, I put it open with food and he's not instantly eating it, he will eat it over time. If you just keep the backpack open. I think it works the same, he will not eat or waste in the depot. Or in the protection zone. So okay, that's the tools. Next thing is visuals. This is also very handy. You can enable different options. So what I usually enable is the light. As you can see, this is full light. It is in the client as well. If you go over here and go to graphics, you can enable light effect. But I find this one more like... it gives me more light and more visual, so that's why. These things are, yeah, a little bit more advanced. It's a mana bar. Yeah, it says itself, there's a mana bar appearing under your HP bar. You can activate it, I'll keep it open. Advanced info, if you have backpacks and you hover over it, or you left click on on an item or whatever, you will get more information. Whatever, I don't really use this. X-ray is if you like want to see in like upper floors or down floors. I'll just like show how everything is like, yeah, in the menu. I will, if you really want, I can make in-depth detail about everything, but if I do that now, the video will be way too long. So yeah, backpack info, that was the thing I was just saying. If you hover over a backpack, you will see what items are in there. It's kind of nice. Small backpacks. I don't know what that is. Diagnostics. This is a nice thing if you make a script and make a walker and Vink the diagnostics, then you kind of see on which tiles you can run and which you can't. So as you can see, I'm moving now. So this way you can know what is the best path to run. I usually do this when I finish a script. I will Vink this and make the script run, so I know that everything works or not. So let's keep this open. Let's just quickly like make a small script so you guys can see. One more thing, this is the HUD. This is some cool stuff too. So you can Vink specific things. What I usually do is magic wall timers. If I'm hunting, you could do recent loot, you could do like kill counters. You can assign it wherever you want, to the left, to the right, to the middle, whatever. So experiment a bit with it, see what you like the most. Yeah, everyone his own. And then advanced, you can, yeah. There's a lot of things you can do. This video is going to be 2 hours long if I really go into depth. But for this first video, let's just make it simple for everyone. So the next thing, what is really cool, is the walker. So if you activate it, you will see that there's a list popping up on the right side of the screen. Depending on how many backpacks you have open, it appears on the right side. So what you want to do is you want to clear everything if something is in there. So I'm quickly gonna make like a small route or a small script just to show you the different options in the walker. What I usually do is I make a loop. So I kind of run in a circle, or I I run in a certain path, so I go back to the beginning. That's always what you want to do. Is you want to remember the SQM that you start, and you want to finish on the SQM that you start, or the SQM before. So it's a smooth line. So what we're going to do to help us is we're going to place something on the floor where we start. So okay, we start, and for the thing is, you don't really have to make a note or a stand if you start. You can, but it's not necessary. I'm gonna just do it for the sake of the video. So this is the standpoint where we start. We want to go down below, and we want to go up and explore the house, like as if we would be in a cave and we want to like explore the whole cave. So I'm gonna start here, I'm gonna run over there. So I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna right click in this field, and I'm gonna say stand to the east. What does that mean? I'm gonna say you're gonna stand here, but you're gonna move to the east. And then he will walk downstairs. Then we can make a stand, and we can like make him run. So how to make him run is add a node. Node means he will just run to that GPS location, how you want to call it. So we're gonna make a few nodes just to show you guys how I do it. So you start from nothing, and you kind of make whatever you want, right? And then you do the same, add stand to the north. So you tell him you stand on this SQM, but you move to the north. Voila. And then we're gonna do the same, like a regular stand. We're gonna make him go to the north, like make a note here, and then here stand north again, go upstairs, add stand, add note, add note. We're gonna run around the table. So you will see he will just run the SQM which you tell him to, if you do it in a certain path. I usually make notes in front of doors. Yeah. There's also options to open doors and stuff like that. I'm just gonna make it simple for the sake of the video. Add stand north, so he's gonna go down again. A note, there we go. Got a little bit confused there. Add note. We're gonna make him run in a circle. Add node. And then add node. Think of it like a truck, right? Add node. So, if you want to enable it, you just vink the walker here and he will start running. There you go. That's it. Keep in mind the node, he will always take the shortest route. So if the bot thinks, this is the fastest, then he will just skip a node. But as you can see, it's not that hard to make him run multiple floors. If you enable the targeting, he will just target everything as you set it up over here. Very easy, very simple. So the last thing you want to do is looter. So it says itself, you tell him to loot stuff. So as you can see, I have a little tactic. For the people who know me, they know my routine already. Backpack 1 is always gold. So gold coin, platinum coin. Backpack 2 is always the loot you sell to the NPCs or the djinns or whatever. So all the NPC vendors. Then backpack 3 is usually combined with creature products and gems. And like as you can see here, shard, this is for like outfits. So this is like the low weight creature products or gems. So backpack 1 gold, backpack 2 NPC loot, backpack 3. This is my routine. Why? Because it's 3 backpacks. It doesn't weigh much. You stack backpacks into each other and he will automatically sort all the loot. It's my way of doing. Some people do it in one backpack and they have a script which sorts the loot automatically. I like it like this, so when you check on your character, you can see everything organized and you can see how much loot you made or stuff like that. I kind of like this system. For each his own. I'm just explaining it, showing it. So yeah, that's a little bit the basics. One more thing that you can do is you can put an alarm. So for example, when you're disconnecting, then you will get a message. Player attack when the player attacks you. When there's a player attack detected, he will give you a warning. When you're low HP, all these things you can put in. I find this also very useful. And then if you're in a party, always vink ignore partied players, so that you don't get triggered every time a party member comes in. It's like player detected, player detected. So yeah, it can be annoying. So if you're in a party, always vink this. Right. So yeah, that's a little bit the video. I hope it isn't too long. I tried to like explain everything in a simple way. If you want like a more advanced video, just like comment or whatever. I hope this video was useful, and yeah, till next time.